We are the Chamilions. This is...
I'm Camille.
DJ Fame.
I'm Pras Michelle, formerly of the Fugees.
For me, I would say Lauryn Hill definitely is my biggest. Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Erykah Badu. Yeah.
For me, Biggie Smalls, Point Blank.
Yeah, mine goes a little deeper than that. I'm more into Rolling Stones, the Beatles, obviously Michael Jackson, Bob Marley's a big influence on me, so definitely, yeah. I would say resilience, because this business is built to test your resiliency. Like, are you fit to last? You understand? And then once you get in, actually, as hard as it takes to get in, it's that much harder to stay in. So I would just say, if you believe in what you're doing, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if you 100 years old. You never know. It's like there's no definitive, blueprint or way of doing it. You just do what you feel, and that's what it's about for me.
Social media has, been a big part. It's changed the industry. You know what I mean? It's definitely important to stay on your viral game. Your YouTubes, connect with your fans. Because those are the people that will be, buying your records and supporting you and getting you on iTunes and voting for you and all that kind of stuff. So viral is definitely important.
For me, it's extremely important because that's how I promote everything I do, and obviously stay in touch with my fans, as Camille said, and also stay in touch with people that are helping me out in the industry. So whenever I meet people in the industry that are major artists or producers or whatever, the first thing is like, oh, what's your Facebook? What's your Twitter? And you can form a whole bond and relationship via the internet, and then when you come to their town or they come to your town, they will be sure to hit you up.
Yeah, I'm from the days of where exclusivity was the way of a superstar, like Prince, Michael Jackson. The more exclusive, the more they stayed away from the public, the more the fans wanted a piece of them. Flip to 21st century, that doesn't play no more. You gotta stay connected. The people want to feel like they know you. It's like you're one of theirs. If you're trying to be on some Michael Jackson, Prince, 1983, 84, you're done. So I'm just getting into this social media. I don't like it because I feel like there's certain people I don't want them to know my every move. It's like I might call a girl and be like, yeah, I'm in Utah. And then she's like, you in Utah? On your Twitter this said you was in Miami.
You lying.
That's the danger of that social media, man. Technology-wise, obviously, look, man, listen, 10 years ago, if I was to do the same interview, it'd be like 5 people in here, Hey, this looks like a phone. It looks like I don't even know what this is, but it's the technology. You can go literally, you can make a whole album in your bathroom, It just changed. When I came up, you had to get into a studio, 2-inch reel, that. It was, I was telling someone the other day, I remember when we were in the studio, to get a blank CD would cost us $75. And you could buy it in the store right now for like 39 cents. Yeah, so technology definitely play a big role. And obviously, we're in a culture right now where it's all about the branding and technology, right? Are you an iPhone person, are you a Droid, or are you a BlackBerry? And especially recording, we got the Pro Tools, you got people who do other type of recording, but like the iPad and all of that plays a significant role to what every artist, even the old school artists who claim, oh, I never go there. You see Duran Duran, you see Rolling Stones. Listen, if you can't beat them, join them.
Also, if you don't mind, this is important for artists coming up. You can always Skype in sessions, which I think now is really important with technology. I've had like major songwriters be like, oh, I'm gonna be in London, but Skype me in. So Skyping is really, really, really important for us these days.
Yes, I just had my first vocal coaching session through Skype. It was awesome.
I'm sorry, man. I'm old school. I need to feel the vibe. I need that human interaction. I'm not there yet.
I'll tell you, my first musical really that impacted me, my moment. When I was in 5th grade, I was like 10 years old, we had show and tell, and I brought in, at the time I really liked Queen. My mother loved Queen. I brought in A Night at the Opera, I brought in the CD, and I was like, look, I like Freddie Mercury, he's the most badass singer, I'm bringing the CD, Night at the Opera for show and tell. And my teacher was like, oh my God, so sad, he died. And I was 10 years old. I didn't know that he died, and I was like, oh my gosh, he did. That was the first time I was really affected by, by a
What
music.
year was because Freddie died in the 80s?
I know. This was like 95. I was 10 years old.
Wow.
I had no clue. I was in Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii. So my teacher crushed my heart. She was like, oh, he died, and I was like, what? Like, to me, he lives, because his music, I listen to his music, and to me, he still lives. And it was the first time I was really affected by somebody's death in music. That was really inspired by Freddie Mercury.
You have one?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually didn't want to say this, which is because it's kind of cliche, but it was Michael Jackson. And I was born in Israel, and he was the biggest thing there. I mean, my sister used to rock the curl and have the T-shirt. And... didn't we all? And I remember, hearing his stuff and always he was so separate from other artists to me. He was always right there, and I was a humongous Madonna fan. I had a Madonna party and all that kind of stuff. But Michael Jackson, for me, every song he dropped in the 80s, my mom would just blast it nonstop. And there was a feeling that I got that I still till this day can't say I received the same feeling from any other artist. And I always tell people, for me, he changed the whole outlook of music for me, because I believe that he's 100% passion. And I don't think that he's meticulous within his passion, but I don't think that anything is calculated. It's calculated within the passion inspiration, because he's very meticulous in how he works, but there's a feeling that he transcends that I don't think any other artist ever has or will.
I think for me, just off the top of my head, I can remember the moment, the day that one day Lauryn Hill was driving me to where we used to record, this little house studio, and we didn't have any money. We used to eat chicken wings and Chinese food, And just as she's about to drop me off, there's this radio station in New York called 98.7 Kiss. They used to play love songs called Love After Dark. And as we're sitting there and I'm about to get off, the DJ came on. This is 98.7 Kiss, Love After Dark, and then this song came on, and we were listening to it, and it was like this long intro, and then this person started to proceed to sing, and after the whole song, we looked at each other like, this is the most incredible record we ever heard, and I was like, you need to record this record. And it was killing me softly. And that record changed our lives, man. It was, at the moment I heard, I can smell the aura. We were in her mom, Burgundy Camry on South Clinton, East Orange. It's crazy, man. It was a crazy experience, but yeah.
That's a good question, It's hard to keep up with artists these days. There's so many out there, Amy was my girl. That was probably, she helped me get through a lot of stuff, and I love Adele. But most of the inspiration I draw from is usually from, jazz, a lot of 90s rap, 90s R&B, and I find myself, going into history a lot, actually, to be honest.
I'm a DJ. It's my job to keep up with new music and be very hip to old music and the right old music. So yeah, I'm always onto the new stuff. Serato sends me a bunch of stuff and white labels, da-da-da. But I'm also extremely supportive of new artists, regardless of their position in their careers. And it's actually a big reason that inspired me to DJ, because I know what it's like to be like, yo, could you play my song? If your song is hot, I will play it. I will mix it with the right records that will make you sound hotter. And I would appreciate if more DJs would do that for new artists.
Once again, I feel like I'm the old school dude. So, yeah. For me, it's like, I'm strictly about music finding me. I don't go looking for music. you know, because this, you know, with the internet, like we were talking about social media, everyone's an artist. I mean, there was a time where, like, if you told someone I'm going to record, it was like, what? It was like you're going to the moon. That's the era I come from.
Not anymore.
Today, you say, yo, I'm about to do an album, you might just say I'm about to go to the bathroom. It's equivalent to that.
Everybody's doing an album.
Everyone making albums, everyone shooting a video, you know what I mean? Everyone is releasing it. I'm just saying, it's like, yo, it's getting to the point like, who cares? But every once in a while, you know, you'll get, you know, like, I've been on Adele since 19, and I was telling people about Adele, and the reason I know about Adele, because Sony, I'm affiliated with Sony, and when she dropped the 21, man, that was like, man, that really touched my heart, you know. And so that's, like I said, you know, there's certain things that just come, you know, that finds me, and I just grab. But I'm not that kind of dude that's just, I'm still listening to the Beatles, Rolling Stone, you know, 80s, pop, rock, you know. I'm on fast replay on Whitney Houston right now. Rest in peace.
I've never been to the Grammys, so I want to go. I'll be there next year, hopefully. But my most recent Grammy moment, I would say, is when probably a couple of years ago, I think it was 3 years ago, Kanye performed. This was after his mother passed away, rest in peace. And I just remember he had all the lights, and he had all, you know what I mean, he did his, you know, with all the lights down and his shades thing, and I remember just being really compelled by his performance. And I know it was really passion and inspired driven because of, you know, what had happened with the situation with his mother. And so that's probably my most recent Grammy moment that I felt really touched by a performance. Yeah, that kind of performance.
I have a little weird story about the Grammys. I had an ex-boyfriend who was going to the Grammys because he like launched a clothing line or whatever, and I was like this starving artist, and I was like, you're going to the Grammys? And he was like, yeah, you know. And I was like, it's because you have no talent, you just put money into it, and that's how you go to the Grammys. And I remember being miserable over it, and I was like, oh, I hate this industry. But, you know, now I'm like hoping that I'll be there as a performer. That was to me a big Grammy moment.
Well, my Grammy moment, you know, I was actually, the year that we actually won one of the Grammys, I remember when we went on that stage and Wyclef and I came up with the Haitian flag, and it was a proud moment for us because, you know, growing up in New York, New Jersey, there was a time Haitians couldn't go to school. And I was born in America, so I didn't have that same problem, but I used to see kids stay home a month at a time. And the day that, it was on a Sunday, that we got on that stage and announced the Fugees, and Clef walked on the stage, I walked on the stage, he had the flag in his back, and then we stretched the flag out. The next day, every Haitian in America was walking with their chest so like, now what? You know, Haiti's on the map, you know, and that was the most incredible moment for me, you know, that music can inspire, you know, a world, you know, and that would always stay with me.